So today I'm going to give you an update on some things. I guess give you an update on the Maico 700. You're going to buy that. Also give you some insight into some of the products I use. Not that it matters, but sometimes people ask me in the comments, so I'll go over a few of those and why I use them or why I don't use other things. So yeah, I think those are the two things. I'll also show you the Maico 500 that I haven't started to rebuild yet. So first, on this bike, I have started to order some stuff for it. New plastics. I got a big gas tank for it. I ordered the spark arrestor. Or another back here. I ordered new side panels too, and new stickers. And I have not checked out the size of this yet though, to order that. But I have ordered new foot pegs. I also ordered a new carb boot. As I said, that was bad. And then I'll have to take this off, sand it up, as you can see, paint it. So I'll probably have a video in a couple weeks whenever I get those parts in, and I'll probably take this apart and go through that. I'm not sure what else to do on this. Like, I may put this bike to be disc brakes like that one. I may not. This one here, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the front forks, disc brakes or not, to keep it like this. So that's that. An update on the other Maico engine I have. You can see this bike sitting here, and there's the Maico 500. That's the ATK motor that came off of that bike, which was going to be a 700. And like I said, I'll give you an update on that in a minute. So you can see in there, that's the motor still sitting around. I gotta put the bearings in it, and I could do the transmission and then put the thing together for the most part. Alright, some of the products I use. Stable fuel. I put this in every time I buy gas because I don't know when I'm going to ride all the time. So, stable. As far as, I also buy sometimes random octane boosters. I like this chain lube, Champion chain lube, or this chain lube. I really don't, actually I said some of the stuff I just buy random. Chain lube's okay. So you can see I buy, Canon air filter oil, and of course this here, Bel-Ray waterproof grease, a PJ1 smooth cable lube, and for the most part those are things I really don't care. Dot 3 and 4, liquid wrench. This here is nice, tire lube from Pro Clean Racing to put on tires, and of course Pro Clean cleaner. I use that on my bike when I clean it up, of course. There's protection you spray on your bike after you've washed it to help prevent corrosion. Let's see what else here. There's another octane booster. So I used to use this Super M stuff, and I don't really use it anymore. Very rarely use it. So for the most part, I just use, or I've tried to use Valvoline if I can find it, but I mean, this is Quicksilver Marine, what I use now. It says TCW3 certified, and that's usually just what I look for. As long as it has whatever that certification is, I'm sure it's going to be okay. So I just look for that. But if you're wondering that one. So these here, this is what I generally use for my oil. I don't use transmission fluid. Instead, I use motor oil, and I use SAE 30. I always use that, and I always have used that. So, of course, as far as coolant, it's Peak usually, or Prestone. Always 50-50. I always buy it pre-mixed. So, gunk and random engine degreaser. So another Super M. So, like I said, for the most part, like I said, I'm not too picky. Some of these were bought by other people. Oh, and they had bikes. They bought this one, for example, because I always buy the Valvoline. And I don't think I bought this one either. It's probably been in my garage for years. Some of these, like those bikes. So, for the most part, that's. And of course, you get the flame proof paint. That's mostly what I buy. I mean, that's pretty much. And I also have pipe cleaner somewhere. To help get the rust off of pipes. I'll probably end up using that. Here it is. Pipe gel. Probably end up using that whenever I work on this thing. It worked pretty good. I did it on my. There's probably a video of it. I did it on the 440. So that's pretty much the products I use. Like I said, there's nothing fancy, nothing special. I mean, aside from the Pro Clean stuff, I mean, this is mostly the stuff you'd find at your local motorsport store or something. It's not. I don't really. As you see, some things I buy whatever's available. As you can see, this I have several different versions of the chain lube. So I've actually really liked the stuff that was white. I'm not sure if that was a Champion or if that was this stuff, but it would put a white coat on the chain when you lube it up. I don't think this stuff does. Maybe it does. This is white graphite. Let's see. We'll spray it on here. A little bit, I guess, but I don't know. The stuff I had before actually made it white. So anyhow, those are my products. As I mentioned before, I don't really use anything special. So, and here up here, I even have, Magura blood for hydraulic, and fork oil. I just buy the Bellray fork oil. 5 weight. I usually buy. Yeah. So, like I said, mostly standard stuff. It's the stuff I use. I know some people go a little bit crazy. They want to put certain types of things. I mean, for the most part, I found SAE 30 for transmissions fine. And then I've used different types of the oils. For the most part, they all go fine. The Super M stuff, I put it in a little bit thicker just because I don't know. I'm not really sure if it's that good of a lubricant, and so that's why I switched back to these ones, because I was using that one for a while, and the only thing I was using it originally in this bike here, and eventually this bike here had a bad seal and it was leaking. It was sucking oil. That's why I rebuilt it. So it's completely rebuilt. It doesn't do it anymore, but it did end up having a bad seal and sucking oil. I'm not sure if because I use Super M and that doesn't do as good lubrication or what, or just because the bike was old. I mean, old bike. So, but yeah, that was the only time I was using it. I used it for a long time, for about a year of riding it, and then that happened. So, And so after that, I just went back to regular oil. But otherwise, so now I'll give you updates on the Maico 700. So first off, you can't just import the Maico 700 from Germany. You have to get EPA approval to bring in any equipment, any engine or anything now, and those do not qualify for EPA. They don't, or they're not EPA approved, right? So the first thing to do is get a race exemption. That's what I'm going to try to do. So I have filled out the paperwork to get a race exemption. I need a couple pictures. I need a VIN number from Germany. I'm waiting for that. I'll probably get it next Monday. But I've joined, in order to do, there's like 12 different things you need. And these 12 different things are, you know, the model and everything of the vehicle, the reasons why it's can't be used on the, reasons why it's a race vehicle, reasons why it can't be ever used on the street, and then what governing body it was manufactured for specifications to meet the racing specifications, and then what is the governing body that does the races, you know, and then what do you need a license for racing, and then we need this year's current race schedule, and then you need, like I said, 3 pictures, front, back, and side. And so there's like 12 different things. And so once you bring all that in, so I have registered for OMRA, which is Oregon Motorcycle Riders Association. It's $30 a year for competition. So I registered there. I got the license for that, and then I have that picture to send in, and then I have the other thing I had to send in is the I guess it's a link to the race schedule. And so after that, once I get the VIN number and everything, I can actually apply and see if they will give me a race exemption. It seems like it's kind of difficult though. When I've been talking to the EPA people, it seems like, you know, it's not going to be. They may reject it. So, you know, if they reject it, I do have some backup plans. I did check ATK. So I know people are like, oh, but ATK imports them. Well, first of all, it's an ATK, right? I prefer to have the true full Maico. But if I have to go ATK, ATK also is going to charge more. They're going to charge a bigger markup because I know that currently the euro is down. So there's actually like a $6,000 difference between what ATK would sell it for and what I can buy it direct from Germany. So significant savings there. But ATK is not importing them this year. They're importing them again next year possibly. And so I had to email and put myself on that list. So if this falls through, then I'll have to wait till next year. The other thing is, there is a guy who has a Maico 620, and he might be selling it. I don't know how much for or anything, but he might be selling it, and if he does, he'll let me know. Or actually, he's asking me if I want to buy it, but he has never told me a price yet. So it's a 620. Now, if I look at the specs online, the Maico 620 and the 685 share the same stroke, which means it might be possible that all I have to do is buy a cylinder and I'll have the 700. So I could try out the 620, and then if I can, upgrade it to a 700, and then I'll know what both of them were. I mean, of course, I won't have the 620 anymore, but I'll have the 700 then. But so that's another possibility. But anyhow, this is where I'm at with buying the Maico 700. I just can't import it. I have to get EPA approval first. Once I get EPA approval, then I can look at getting someone in customs to meet it there and start shipping it with the approval letter from EPA, and then they can ship it to me. So that's the that's the issue that I have run into. That's the snag. So, and like I said, I am currently trying to work on that and get that to pass. So we'll see what happens.